Good morning, good day, good afternoon, Sycamore students, Sycamore artists, future leaders of the world. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everybody's staying safe and staying busy. Welcome to another small art lesson with Luis. Today, we are going to go over a small fun lesson that you can do at home, and it involves the color wheel and collaging. In case you guys aren't familiar with the color wheel is a chart that talks about, illustrates all the colors, starting with the primary colors. So if you guys aren't familiar yet with the primary colors, I'm sure most of you are, the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. And then from those colors, we can make all the other ones. So if we mix, yellow with red, we get orange. If we mix yellow with blue, we mix green, get green. And if we mix blue with red, we get violet. And I have a small color wheel here that helps me when I'm painting or when I'm creating things. I don't know if you can see that right there. It shows all the colors, and it's a useful tool. But what's also useful and fun is to have another visual on hand all the time. And I like to do that using using old magazines. If there is one around that I can cut up, if it's okay with your parents, ask them first, and see what colors I can find in the magazine to create my own color wheel. And I did one, and it looks something like this, as you guys can see. So what I did first is I took a blank piece of paper, and then I took a circle template. You can use any circle template. You can use a roll of tape. You can use the bottom of a cup. Some of you guys might even have these in your home. This is an actual circle template. So if you have these, you can use these. You can use a small dinner plate. But the first thing I did was I took a piece of paper and I drew a circle right in the middle. And then at the top, right here, I labeled a space for red. Down here, I labeled a space for yellow. And then right here, I labeled a space for blue. So what I did first is I went and found all my primary colors that I could in the magazine. And I just went, and all it took was one magazine actually, and I was able to find every single color that I could ever need in here, in this magazine. There's just so many scraps and so many colors, so many advertisements, photographs. It's very vibrant and very cool to look at. Once you start going, it's really easy to find all the colors that you need. So first I started with the red, I started with the yellow, and then I started with the blue. And I used my trusty glue stick. If you have a glue stick, you can use that. If you have Elmer's glue, you can use that. If you're gluing it on the paper using Elmer's glue, one thing I noticed the students were doing was using a lot of glue. A lot. So much so that it would soak through the paper and make your paper all wrinkly and heavy, and then there would be glue coming out of the sides of the things you glue down and just be weird looking and whatnot. So if you have Elmer's glue, you only need a little bit. So if this was a cutout or something that I was using, I would just dab it on very lightly and maybe use my finger or something else to spread it out. You don't need to squeeze the glue out onto the back of a piece of paper. So use it sparingly, because it can be messy, and then it just doesn't make your paper look good if there's wrinkles and glue everywhere. So with that, I did my red first, and then I did my yellow, and then I did my blue. And I thought, okay, cool. Now I know that red and yellow make orange, so I drew a space for orange right here. And then I knew that yellow and blue make green, so I put a space for my green here. And then I know that red and blue make violet. So I found a space for my violet here. And once I had those spaces, I went and cut some more colors that matched in, and I started to glue those down. So after I had my primary colors down, I was able to get a space for my secondary colors. So my primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. My secondary colors would be orange, green, and violet. So once I was able to get primaries, I was able to lay down my secondaries. And once I was able to lay down my secondary colors, I was able to figure out, well, red and orange makes red orange, so I put a space for that. And then I put a space for yellow green, then a space for blue green, blue violet, and red violet. And once I had those spaces in, I was able to go through my magazine one more time and I cut out all kinds of colors. And it became easier and easier once I started to have the colors in. I would go, oh, that's gonna fit perfectly in yellow orange, and that's gonna fit perfectly in yellow green, and that's gonna fit perfectly in blue green, and that's gonna fit perfectly in the red violet. So once I had that down, I was able to fully complete my color wheel using magazine scraps and a piece of paper. Now I have my very own color wheel that I can defer to or look at anytime I need to mix colors or paint or you know what? Aside from a color wheel, this just looks really cool on its own. If I were to make a small one, I could probably draw a stem in here and make this into a flower. So as we work today, I want you guys to think about your primary colors, your secondary colors, and then the rest in between. It's really, really easy to get all of these vibrant colors from an old magazine that might have passed its time. Everybody's done reading, it's just laying around. But before you cut it up, ask your parents. Ask your parents, say, hey, can I cut this magazine out? Get some scissors. And if you look in here, just on this one page, I was able to find green and yellow green, orange, orange red. There's so many vibrant colors. So as you guys are at home, wondering what can I do? Might be bored today. Mom won't let me watch YouTube or play Switch or whatever it is that you guys do to pass the time when you're bored. Or if you're done with piano practice or baseball or sports, or if you're done with your homework for the day and you just want to have some fun and pass the time, the funnest thing that you can do is take an old magazine, start cutting it up. It's really fun. It's actually very, very pleasing and relaxing to just sit there and find all the colors and cut out little snippets. Before you know it, you're gonna have more colors than you actually need. I was able to complete this color wheel right here and had so many more scraps of paper that I could have put in here that just didn't have the space to fit them all in. So for today's lesson, I want you guys to find an old magazine. You can use scraps of paper. You can even use flower petals. You can use bits of tissue paper. Anything that you find with vibrant color that's going to fit into our color wheel, you can use. So what do we need? Blank sheet of paper, circle template, any circle, any size, a roll of tape, dinner plate, bottom of your favorite coffee cup. Do you guys drink coffee yet? I don't think so. If you have a coffee cup and you're drinking coffee, I don't know. I don't know too many second and third graders that drink coffee. That's questionable if you do. Anyway, back to the lesson. We're not talking about drinking coffee. We're talking about the color wheel. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is take an old magazine. Once we have our circle down, we're going to write the spaces for our primary colors. And what are our primary colors? Red, yellow, and blue. Once we have our colors taped down, tape or glue, we're gonna write a space for our secondary colors. What are our secondary colors? Orange, green, violet, right? Yeah. So once we have our colors down in our secondary areas, then we can start to add in the rest. Red, violet, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, green, blue, violet. I hope you guys have fun with this lesson. You guys can get your parents involved. You can make as many or as little as you want. You can make this as big as you want too. There's no limit to how big or how small you can make this. So if you guys have a giant piece of scrap paper, make the biggest color wheel that you can. Go for the Guinness Book of World Records for the color wheel. I'm not sure how big the biggest color wheel is. I'm not even sure how small the smallest color wheel is. So if you can fit all of these colors into the size of a dime, that would be impressive. That would be amazing. Quite challenging. So yeah, I hope you guys have fun with this lesson, going over your primary colors, your secondary colors, cutting, pasting, collaging, using upcycled materials, and just getting to know what colors mix, getting to know your color palette, and just having fun. Stay creative, Sycamore artists. I'll see you guys next week with another short, quick lesson that you guys can do around the house. Keep you busy, have fun. See you soon. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.